The lane taken by Evan. Gives up top Schwartz to Bartholomew. Left side, Horn for three. Fires and drains from downtown. And finally, the Buffaloes knock the lid off the bucket from outside the arc. That's the first 3 point of the ball. Al Horn had a big game. His first career double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds. But the Buffaloes fall on the road against Tennessee, 56-47. Back in the Buffalo Stampede. Scott Wilke, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Disappointing, Scotty. They didn't have a great start. In fact, Tad said in the postgame, awful offensively, but what a missed opportunity for Colorado. As bad as they played, they were within 2 in the second half, and they're falling by 9 at Tennessee.
These are the games that you want as players playing on, home court of a top 25 team, and they didn't give their best effort. Let's be honest.
No, on the offensive end, they played well defensively, but on the offensive end, you just got the sense there wasn't much flow out there. There was not a ball movement, not a lot of penetration in this ball game.
Well, they fell into Tennessee's trap. Tennessee took away McKinley's right drives, and without him, they needed other playmakers. They weren't there tonight.
McKinley, as good as he is, they put big bodies on him, got physical with him. And we've seen this in the past with very good players on some teams where you can get a little too reliant on one guy. You got the sense a little bit, hey, McKinley, if he can't make the play, somebody else has got to step up and handle the basketball and get the Buffs into the offense. That didn't happen in this ballgame.
Yeah, instead of the ball moving out of McKinley's hands, guys would think, I'm going to make a play. And a lot, like Coach said, a lot of dribbling, a lot of forced shots. We said that multiple times tonight on our telecast. So the Buffs are going to play better offensively, and if they can combine the two, they played well defensively and rebounded the ball, but offensively's got to be better.
Here's the glass half full kind of view of this thing, though. As bad as Colorado was offensively, and they were down by 16 points, by the way, 26-10 at one point, down by 7 at the intermission. You play that bad offensively, and you're still in a ball game and really have a shot in the second half, midway through the second half, at the number 12 team in America. So I guess you can take that away from a positive.
Yeah, you look at the statistics, you think 23 turnovers, shoot 33%, you're probably going to lose by 20 or 25. They were down 5 with less than 2 minutes left, so they were in the game, just couldn't make enough shots, though, to really have a chance at winning it.
Yeah, the Buffaloes did hold Tennessee to 36% shooting, so that defensive effort was pretty good. Ended up on the plus side of the ledger in rebounding, but boy, 23 turnovers. And speaking of which, that was a topic of conversation with head coach Tad Boyle after the ballgame.
Yeah, Mark, disappointing because, boy, I thought defensively we played well enough to win. You guys know I'm not a zone coach. I felt like we really had trouble guarding them. Evan got foul trouble. We went to the zone. It was successful, so we stuck with it. But offensively, we were so bad tonight. And now Tennessee, you got to give them credit. They crawled up into us. They saw the K-State film. The difference is Tennessee was able to sustain that defensive effort for 40 minutes, whereas K-State was not. And so we were able to kind of get going offensively against the Kansas State team. But tonight we weren't. But you turn the ball over 23 times, Mark, and you shoot 33%. I mean, it's a recipe for getting blown out. And so I think, I got to credit our guys. I mean, we didn't get blown out. I mean, that 9-point game was, 4 free throws at the end by Tennessee. So it's really a 5-point game. But we were not good enough offensively. We got to learn to handle pressure better, because if anybody watches these 2 games, they're going to see, boy, climb up into Colorado and they'll pee down their leg and give you the ball.
Well, there was head coach Tad Boyle, always very honest after a ball game like this. Took a lot of the blame and shouldered a lot of the responsibility after this one. You give him credit for that, but this has got to be a learning process for the Buffaloes moving from here on out.
Yeah, you hope that they take from this and get better and apply the things that they work on in practice over the next few days. But I think they're going to be better, Mark. I expected them to be, not necessarily to win tonight, but I expected them to be better offensively, and I think they will be in their next ball game.
Well, I guess we shouldn't be terribly surprised. Think of this. The Buffaloes last played on the 27th of November when they won in Manhattan, Kansas over Kansas State. This game takes place on the 8th of December, so they haven't played really for a couple of weeks, and it looked that way, I thought. There was some rust out there for Colorado.
Yeah, and some of the guys weren't practicing on a regular basis because of restrictions and things like that, so you don't know how much they were on the floor. Working out in their room is not the same thing.
That's right. This is kind of a neat series, though, and it came at the last moment, of course, between Nate Tomlinson and Kim English, the former assistant for the Buffaloes, now at Tennessee. They got this schedule first of a 3-game set. Tennessee will come to Colorado next year, and then there's a neutral court game in Nashville the year after that. All right, coming up on Monday night. Next up for the Buffaloes, as it stands right now, and again, these schedules right now are tenuous at best. You got Northern Colorado coming in here on Monday night. That should be a feel-good game for the Buffaloes.
Yeah, you won't see the same type of athletes out there for Northern Colorado, and Colorado should be much better offensively. It's a game to build back to where they were, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then, of course, it won't be long, and we'll be jumping in to Pac-12 conference play. This league at this point, there's so many unknowns. You don't know what to think about the Pac-12 from a basketball standpoint right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a half-hour drive for me to get to Bouldermark. I was kind of checking my emails, making sure everything was still a go before I left the house tonight.
Yeah, well, the Buffaloes end up falling by 9 on the road against the 12th-rated Volunteers. We'll take a timeout here to Buffalo Stampede. When we come back, we're talking women's basketball.